Hey guys, welcome to the second episode in Let's Play Football Manager 2013 with Liverpool. And the reason this is going to be part 2 and not a February review is because if you look in the top right hand corner there, it is, as you can see, the 6th of January 2027. Now, why is that? Well, we'll get to that momentarily, but if we just take a look at the league here, I'm actually doing pretty damn well with Liverpool so far. Obviously, we've got a game ahead of the likes of City, Brighton, and 3 games ahead of Chelsea, who of course are the European champions once again, as of course they beat Real Madrid, I think, in the final. They've got 3 games. Obviously, they've been playing in the Club World Cup thing. So they've got a few games in hand on us. I think that's like 9. Yeah, so they'll still, obviously we're still far ahead. Obviously, you can probably imagine who who the top goal scorer is and all that, and the reasons why we're doing so well. It's just because, you know, when you take control of a team, you make things just a little bit tighter and a little bit, you know, better, I guess, you know, than what Slaven Bilic is doing. Now, obviously, bear in mind, this team, you're going to look at this and think, okay, hang on, this team finished 7th last season and was miles away from yourself. Why are Brighton doing so poorly? And why all of a sudden they're doing quite well? It's because, bear in mind, if I just go over the history, obviously they didn't do at all well last season, obviously Chelsea and City there, but they finished 3rd the season before, they finished 2nd and only a few points behind Manchester United the previous season before that, in 2024. So, you know, they have come somewhat close, you know, they have done it before, you know, they're not a million miles away when it comes to that type of thing. So I guess it was only a matter of time. They just needed someone, a la me, to take them to that next step. Obviously, there is still a long way to go. It is January, so I should point that out. But as I say, the reason we're going to be doing not doing a February review is because of this. Oh boy. Yes, the Capital One Cup semi-final. We're going to have a special 2-parter live commentary. Yep. We've got the first leg will be coming to probably tomorrow or whenever the hell that video goes up. I'll try for it tomorrow, so YouTube is being a bit inconsistent at the moment. But yeah, we're going to have a special on there as I return to Brighton. It will also be the first time I go back to the Amex since leaving. Let's hope for a non-hostile atmosphere. So yeah, I thought I'd do that one live. Obviously, slight spoiler before we get into the fixtures and all that. We've got to the Capital One Cup semi-final. But yeah, we'll go over that now. I'll just go over some transfers as well, just in case I've not missed. I don't think I've missed any out. Well, there's been a few that I've brought in. One lastly here, as you can see, I've got Han Jae-yoon, of course, who I brought in from, I brought in to Brighton, I should say, from, Christ, where was he from? Aston Villa, that's right, for 1.3 million. And now I'm getting him on loan. Now, I realise I'm paying a kind of ridiculous fee of £800,000 a month for his services, but I needed to replace Marco Breen, who basically, as I say, is kind of retiring at the end of the season and is therefore kind of shit. I've talked about Tom King. Obviously, he's come in just as a replacement, or has he? We'll get to that in a moment. And 2 youngsters who I've signed here, both from Bayern Munich. This is Bastian Verbarca, 4.5-star potential. That's pretty good, especially now. These scouts are really strict, if you know what I mean. Like, they're really you know, let me put it to you this way: these scouts rated. What happened was, before I joined Liverpool, I just went on the save and did a load of scouting with my Brighton save because they'd done more scouting. So, you know, I knew who to look for. I know that you could consider that cheating, but in the end, I didn't actually use it. So, yeah, just to point that out, I didn't actually use any of them because then when I actually went to scout them for Liverpool, the scouts here didn't really rate them all that much. So I don't know whether the scouts are better or worse or whatever, but yeah, they seem quite a bit different. So, but for this lad to be rated 4.5-star by Colin Pascoe and the like, I think that's pretty decent. We've also got God, these fucking names: A-Tech, which is a superb name, or I-Tech, I don't know. Velioglu. What's with the GLU at the end now? I don't know, but he's German and yeah, he's 4-star potential again. He's a centre back. So we've got him. And obviously, we've sent out a load of players on loan and not released on a free there going out. So let's go over the fixtures. Let's indeed do that. So we had a load of friendlies. And then, of course, we played Dundee United. in the Europa League third qualifying round. Obviously, since they finished 7th, they just about scraped into the Europa League. And obviously from the third qualifying stage, and they played Dundee. Now, the really interesting thing about this is, if we look at Barry Wallace for a second, he's Scottish. We all know him now, one of the best players on the game, yada, 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 best striker. He's scored a ridiculous amount of goals, is the modern-day equivalent to Dixie Dean. Quite up there with Lionel Messi nearly, but he's pretty damn good. Guess where he's from? It just had to be, didn't it? He just had to play Dundee. The first competitive game I played would be against Barry Wallace's, the man who I made he's basically the reason why I came to Liverpool virtually. Obviously not the fact that I'm a Liverpool supporter, obviously, but the reason why I got quite excited when I had the opportunity to come here. And yeah, he scored 2. Probably should have had a hat-trick. Made fairly. I played a strong team. Wanted to see the team in the full virtually. I played Dom Kemp and Don Goodeve, the 2 Dominics, who of course has some fantastic potential. I've never seen it. That's the telephone, for the love of God. Oh dear, I do apologise for that. I had a cold call there. A telephone ringing about outstanding debt. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. Anyway. So Barry Wallace got his game there. Now I played a slightly weaker team here at the return leg at home. 1-1, Hey Jude scored. Now, a lot of these players, such as Kyle Iguita, was 17, he's 18, he's 17, I think he was 16 at the time, Don Kemp. And yeah, he's very good. As I say, that was a weak team, so I apologise. Sorry if I'm out of breath. I've just run up the stairs there. I'm incredibly unfit because I'm a lazy bastard. So the first game then was against Arsenal, and we won 4-1. Now this is going to be like a review, but until January, basically. It's only a few games difference, so just point that out. Just want to say that. And this went so much better than I could ever have imagined, honestly. I tried the tactics for the first time. I thought, well, I'll see how we do. Arsenal are pretty decent. But honestly, this was in the first 8 minutes. There's Pepe Hernandez, falls back to him. And honestly, I really was not expecting to get a point here. But I tell you what, we were superb here. Honestly, I've never seen a more polished performance from a team that I've just started. It was like first real competitive domestic game. I would have been really happy with a point. And we won 4-1. I was so happy, and the tactics just worked, I guess. And I was still evaluating players at this point. There's Joshua Johnson, which is a bloody mouthful to say. He's for some reason the game seems to rate him a lot higher than I do. He's not actually that great. He's kind of irritating. He's very similar to Luis Garcia, but look at that great stuff from Barry Wallace there. There he goes. Plays in it to Torre. Very unselfish. Lovely finish. I was at that point. It was 11 minutes, and I'm just thinking, there's no way this has gone so well. And I thought, no, I was waiting for the game I was waiting for that, and then all of a sudden, the game to say, nope, we're going to pull you back to 2-2, like we did so many times with Brighton. But no, look at that for a ball. What a touch, and what a finish. That was Suarez-esque there from Barry Wallace. And that's 3-0 at half-time. Outstanding. Really unbelievable. And then this happened, and I thought, that's annoying, but I thought there's no way he was going to do that. Now, I should point out that's not Andre Santos. I know, I was confused as well, but he got a goal in his debut, so it's not Andre Santos. And yes, you may also be wondering that Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is still playing. He's like 34 or something. Well, that was one of the best starts to a season I've ever had. Ever. Hands down. It was just so polished. It was so well done. Everyone plays really well. And it was a really good game to watch as well. It was just really, really good. The captain obviously stand out there. Oxlade-Chamberlain, the captain, not leading by example. 5.6, not great from him. He's 33. He's doing all right, though, isn't he? I mean, obviously, one of the main attributes of his is his pace, and kind of lost that now. And then we played Lillestrøm in the Europa League playoff. Jude Nugent actually hit a hat-trick. Now, if we just go on his stats for a minute, you'll be able to see a bit more about how he's done this season. So he's got 11 goals so far. Go away, Doc. Which is pretty good. But if you look at his previous seasons, when he came in as a youngster, excuse me, he really hasn't scored that many goals. He scored 5 goals in 2022-23 season, but that's it. He's coming now. I've thrown him into the team for the first time. I think this is why Liverpool did so badly this season. He just didn't utilise the squad. as far as I can see, and he's got 11 goals. 7, obviously, admittedly, have come in the Europa League. But yeah, that was that. And then we had a good game against Norwich. Vadim Glukov, who's a great player, very, very, very good player. Unfortunately, Valara missed a penalty, but Simon Dodd, who for some reason has an extra space in his name. Why does he have an extra space in his name? What the hell's going on there? Look, what? Well, I've just noticed that. Whoa, what the hell? That is bizarre. You ever seen that? Look, that should be another character in there. Why has he got like another space? Maybe he has a middle name or something. I don't know. Yeah, so Glukov got the goal there. Valara missed the penalty. Continue, we got a good start. And then we got a 1-0 win. Yaya Toure with the goal against Lillestrøm there. And then we played Manchester United. So this was the first real test, I suppose, when we played Man United. It was 0-0 at Anfield. Not bad at all. United are still doing really well. Well, I say really well. I mean, obviously by the standard of today, it's not that great at all. In 5th place, they kind of been a bit. I wouldn't say dislodged or anything, but there's certainly been a. It's still decent. Moving on, Suleiman Koulibaly scored a hat-trick against Huddersfield, and then we played Rangers. Yes, Rangers are now back in Europe, in the Europa League, and we qualified very easily. Lois Lille and Trnava. I can't say these fucking clubs, man. Spartak Trnava. There we go. We'll show you the Europa League. Then we've got Nugent scoring 2 again, and Tucci, I think is how you pronounce that, with an easy 3-0 win over Rangers. Glukov scoring the winner again in France against Lille. 3-0 against the Slovakian team there. I'm not going to attempt to say the name. Mikalski, Bunjak and Johnson with the goals. Jude Nugent gave us a 1-0, slightly tense victory over Trnava. And at this point, we'd already qualified and already confirmed first place. So once that was it. 4 out of 4. Lille and Rangers obviously were battling for second then, so I could obviously, I don't want to sound like I did this, but I could take it easy. I could play weaker teams, and I instant resulted the next 2 games where we actually lost to Rangers 2-1. Goody scored and Egerton scored in France, but unfortunately, as I say, they were 2 weakish teams. They weren't terribly weak, they weren't like a reserve team or anything, but they were weak, so obviously I had all the games to play, so I just wanted to point that out. Next we played Lincoln City, who, in case you're wondering, are in fact in the Championship. Let's just have a look at the Championship for now, just to show you how they are. And they're actually doing 5th. Now, can I just point out Lincoln start in the conference? If you watch the Southport video, we're in the same league as them. That's how far they've come. And so have Hereford, for that matter. Shrewsbury have done well as well, so have Oxford. And Lincoln are actually in potential promotion candidate there. That's amazing. So we met them in the Capital One Cup. This is the first round, and we played and I played a full strength team because I wasn't going to take these down. And I played Marco Breen, I played Carl Connolly there, who's a youngster, Jocelyn Simpson, who's a youngster, and we won 3-2. It was a crazy game, this one. We were 3-0 up inside half an hour, and I thought game over, and I took it easy, and they came back and nearly spoiled it. But then we played Chelsea for win 3-0. Barry Wallace with 2, and Zoran Bunjak. I will show you these goals because these were a little bit crazy. Now, sorry, I appear to have dropped something on the floor. That's the problem with doing it live. There we go. Right, okay, so this was 3-0 on Anfield. Played a lot of games on Anfield. I mean, I don't know if Torre, if that was a touch or if that was a touch from a defender there, but it went through to Wallace, and he just doesn't miss those. That is 1-0. I mean, you just can't allow Barry. Look at that room, and you just can't allow that. And Zoran Bunjak, who is an exceptionally good player as well. Okay, he's not exactly Barry Wallace, but he's very, very good on that right-hand side. And I think I've underused him slightly. Anytime he's come in, he's done very, very well. So he's given it there. He's on a yellow card, as you can see, but let's not detract from that. Villaro's good. He used to play for Arsenal. If you're wondering. I'd say if you haven't watched the intro video, he, of course, did play quite a lot for Arsenal. We used to buy a lot from Arsenal. And there's Barry Wallace. Good ball, to be fair, from Johnson. That's 3-0 against Chelsea. I just couldn't believe these results at home. We were just dominating teams at home. It's amazing. And then this was a weird one. 1-0 against Crewe. I probably did underrate Crewe. Jonathan Simpson, the youngster here, he's only 17. No, so he's 18 now, as I say, the Argentinian Englishman. Has very weird eyes. got himself sent off, which is stupid. His Kemp's goal, who is, I think he may now actually, with that goal, I think that was in the league. Let's just have a look. I know he scored in Europe. Oh, did he score in Europe? Hang on, am I wrong? I can't remember. But there's Kemp. No, that was his first goal. I think that made him at the time, or he still is. So I'll find out. The youngest goal scorer in Liverpool. So let's have a look at the landmarks. That's not right. Where's it gone? Record, that's the one. Let's see, yeah. Youngest player was Zigito, who played on his 16th birthday, if you look there. So he played against Dundee. That's how young he was. Throwing him in. That was kind of silly of me, but whatever. Youngest player for most goals. It doesn't actually have youngest goal scorer. I don't think it's in there. But I'm pretty sure the game did say to me at one point Kemp was the youngest goal scorer. So you have to take my word for it. But let's be real here. I'm not going to lie about something as pathetic as that. But yeah, we just couldn't find the run of the mill there, and we kind of flopped and screwed up against Crewe. That was a bit of a downer, but then we bounced back nicely as we won 3-1 against Nottingham Forest. Koulibaly, Johnson and Hernandez with the goals. Who's someone who has not scored for Liverpool before. Doing rather well. We played Charlton in the Capital One Cup 4th round. Barry Wallace scoring 2, as you do. Tottenham, we beat them 3-1, not quite 3-2 as we did yesterday. But Koulibaly, Wallace, and Bunjak scored. Wallace scored again. Koulibaly's actually scoring quite a lot as well. Johnson scoring. I think he missed a penalty. Unfortunately, we're not doing too well with penalties, are we? I can't do any. I just don't know what it is. I was good with Brighton. We had Damiano Brivio, but unfortunately, we can't seem to find a particularly good penalty. I might just bring someone in who's not that great a player, but just good at penalties and see what happens. That's 3-1 against Ipswich. 3-0 against Newcastle. Barry Wallace, Yahya Toure and Jude Nugent. And then finally we lost. Yes, we lost. We did eventually have our first loss. That was on the 15th of November against Manchester City at Man City Stadium. Immensely shit name for a ground, unfortunately. But there you go. The game was not particularly creative in that department. Nugent had a bit of a shock. Wallace tried his best, but unfortunately couldn't do. Francisco Godoy had a very good game, but unfortunately couldn't keep out the goal scorer, who was Sergio. Not Aguero, Sergio. He's a black Brazilian man who is a defender and has kind of a lot of pace. Fair play to him. Right, we then went to Ewood Park and got a draw. Barry Wallace scoring again. Jay Lacey there, who was one of, as I've mentioned, may have mentioned previously, has one of the most Scouse names I've ever heard. And he did, Barry Wallace again rescuing us there. You may notice Tom King has come in. Unfortunately, he currently has a flu. Expected out for a day. Usually, flu has cleared up by then. Whatever. Yeah, so he's 31, so he's actually a real goalkeeper. I believe he's currently playing for England under-17s and is at Crystal Palace, which is correct. Brought him in, and I tell you what, he's made 10 appearances. That is a decent average rating for a goalkeeper, especially a bit past backup goalkeeper. But the problem was, I brought him in for a few games, and he did well. He did nothing wrong, and there was no reason for me to drop him, so I just kept playing him. Obviously, I had to play Godoy eventually, so I just kept rotating them. So he seems to be fine at the moment. Anyway, moving on, we got back to winning ways for the first time in 2 weeks. Well, that's quite a lot. Was it 2 weeks? Yeah. Nearly. As Yaya Toure scored the winner against Aston Villa. We won 4-1 against West Ham. Nugent, Koulibaly, Mikalski and Stewart with the goals. And then we played Chelsea in the Capital One Cup quarterfinals. We went to penalties and we won. We'll show you that now. We'll show you the goals here. As Hernandez and Koulibaly, Martino and Serna with the goals in normal time. So obviously from a corner, there's Pepe Hernandez again. Excuse me. As I say, for someone who hasn't scored for Liverpool before, he's doing rather well this season. I suspect trickery. Look off there with some nice defending. And as you can see here, if we look, so it ends 2-2. What happens? Oh, what a strike from Koulibaly. What the more to the point is, what happened? We lost the 2-0 lead. Unfortunately. Martino with a penalty. Godoy could not do anything about that. A nice penalty taken away from the goalkeeper. And then this next goal coming up is in the 77th minute. And I think at this point we're still attacking because, to be honest, we didn't really do a whole lot wrong. It was just a lucky penalty, I guess. I don't know whether, obviously, penalties are a bit dubious on this. I don't really want to say they are. Fabio is a really good player, actually. As Fabio Mikalski sold himself there, and that's kind of just let the door in, for Chelsea players to sort of move around, lose the markers, and I think that was the main thing there to see. But touchy, dear me. They have killed us in the past. They have killed us in real life, and it's done it there. Anyway, let's get to the penalty shot. So Barry Wallace stepped up first. He scored. Martino scoring once again in exactly the same place he did in real time. Here's Fabio, short run up. Yes, he scored. Going to the goalkeeper's right. He went the wrong way. Jaman also scoring in exactly the same place. Godoy did not have an answer. Paul Stewart scoring also in the same place. They're all going in the right one there. And Kosic missed. He also went that way. So did Valero, but he scored, though, sending the goalkeeper the wrong way. Kanigia also scoring, or Kanigia, I should say. That's dangerously close to the N-word, which I don't want to use. Glukov scores and gave us the victory. Oh, I love doing them breathless penalty commentaries. That's the fault of the game. I can't do anything about that. I can't adjust the pace of them, really. Otherwise, it goes far too slowly. So yeah, that marches on into the semi-finals. We didn't have a particularly difficult run, it's only 3 games. Beat Lincoln and Charlton, which is very doable, and then we had a one-off game against Chelsea, and then you're into the semi-finals. That's why I like the Capital One Cup, because it's a fairly, I want to say easy, because it's not an easy cup to win, but by comparison to the FA Cup or the League or whatever, it's relatively easy. And obviously got the Rangers defeat there, which we've already talked about. 2-0 against Millwall, who are actually a really good team. Now they've actually really done well. As you can see, the 7th, and they are a firmly established Premier League team. Heading a lot of other players, teams there. Valero and Koulibaly with the goals. Southampton 2-1. Barry Wallace and Koulibaly with the goals. This is Suleiman Koulibaly doing a really good job here. Kous Roos. Are you serious? Kous Roos. Oh boy. Right. That is just the regens. I swear to God, these regen names. Barry Wallace and Koulibaly. We're going to glance over that one, and we move in then to the big game, of course, the one that we've all been building up to, and the one you have been waiting for, as Brighton came to Anfield. This was the first game, of course, and we won 3-2. We stuffed it in Brighton's face. They nearly put it back into us. Now, I should point out there have been a few changes. Alessandro Panucci has become the number 1. Jack Butland has been essentially forced out, and I think is going to be leaving. Let's see, he has no immediate plan. Yes, he has. He is now, in fact, at Manchester City. And a sort of strange familiarity to Richard Wright. And someone's at the door. Oh boy, this is fantastic. Oh dear, sorry about that. I'm constantly getting interruptions, something I can't help. Let's hope this video will be quite edited in some way. Anyway, yes, back to this crazy game. If we look at the times there, work it out for yourself. Yeah, I should point out to say, so Jack, oh dear, you can see my desktop. Look at that. I've got Houdini running, which closes running applications if they go to standby for a few minutes. I don't know why I've got it either. I might get rid of that, actually. So Panucci is like the main number 1 now. We've also got a few other players here, I guess I should talk about, being sincere. Hugo Graça, who's Portuguese. He is a centre-back. Obviously, the defence needed a total revamp. I should point out, you should already know that, to be honest. That's what I was going to do. And if you're playing it yourself, then that was probably one of the first things you did as the Brighton manager, is probably bring in a few other players, especially at the back. Yannick Traore then is here, Ivorian. Obviously, if you look like he's got a spider on his head, them dreadlocks are strange. If you have bought any of these players, by the way, say say that the computer is copying you in some way. We've also got here Alex Nasser. Out of this world he is. Oh, that was terrible. Alright, we've also got, let's see, Alfredo, is that? Oh, no, that is Alfredo Fernandez. Sorry, he was already here, wasn't he? Oh, that's my bad. And last one here is Higuaino, who is an absolute beast. Some player that I missed, probably. I remember he played against us for Aston Villa one of these seasons, and he was really good. He tore us apart several times, and he, again, tore us apart here. He's a very, very dangerous player. He is the type of player I like and really, really do want my team. One who can just, it's lots of flair, lots of pace, and really does know what he's doing. Anyway, let's get on to this here. So this was a first big grudge match. There's going to be many more. I'm sure there is. Also, we've got 2 more coming up after this commentary, so please do stick around for that. And if you are new to the channel, whatever, please do subscribe and watch it, because it's always interesting when the player goes back to his former club. I'm sure you'd like to witness it. But poor header there from New Boy Grazza, and what a good finish that is. I mean, I know it was kind of given to him on the plate there from Wallace, but oh, what a sumptuous finish that was. Really, really well taken. And he is once again proving why he is simply one of the best players I've ever seen on this game. And I'm not being biased when I say that. I really do mean it. I mean, I've already talked about how great Phil Knight was, the Chelsea player regen. But a lovely there finish from Nugent. That's 2-0 just before half-time. 10 goals for him for the season. That was in November, December time. And he's done really, really well to get there. Now, this was interesting. I also noticed for some reason the computer decides to change numbers of the players. Like Costas was forever number 2. And now he's number 4. I think, to be fair, I think he is considered the right back now. But is this Tigueno? I mean, that was fantastic. Really good stuff there. He just darted in from the right, and really nice finish there. And here he is again. So you can't keep him away at the moment. And don't worry, I'm not going to use that NASA thing anymore. And Kenny, look at that. It just broke for him. I was waiting for that just to go into the back of the net. Obviously, the former Man United player scoring there. It just had to be him, didn't it? But so that's 2-2. They brought it back. I think, we've talked about how many times the game likes to do that. It's like it gives you a distinct advantage and with 2 goals, and you think, yeah, we've won this game. And then it's like, nope, you're not having this. But here goes Bunjak again. He has that raw pace. He's very similar, just the pace and the flair. He just gets forward so quickly. And then check out this finish here from Koulibaly. In a moment, that wasn't it. Nugent. Check this out though. Any second now. Torre. One touch, bang, right into the back. And that's 3-2, and that is how it finished. As you can see, if you look at the blue bar at the bottom there was one highlight after that. One highlight around about the 80-something minute. And then we went straight into full time. So that was it. I think we shut up shop there, and Brighton just didn't have an answer. So really good performance there. Really good game. No, see, no one particularly played well. I mean, I guess there was a few players there on 6.8. We didn't go anything below a 7. Discount Torre, who came on. But a really good game, and I'm really looking forward to doing the semi-finals. So that will be good. Then played Cardiff, won 1-0. Hernandez scoring again. I don't know if there's people saying there's going to be a corner glitch or something, which I don't think exists in FM13. We also beat West Brom 2-0, Barry Wallace scoring, and so did Koulibaly. And then we went to the Emirates and drew 1-1. Wallace scoring again. Tom King, as you can see, the backup goalkeeper, bringing in a 9.2 rating at the Emirates. Something tells me that he ain't no ordinary backup goalkeeper. Then we won and did the double over Norwich as Jude Nugent scoring once again. That was just a few days ago, the day before New Year's Day. That was, in fact, a week ago, yeah. Lots of yellow cards. Lacey got injured there, absolutely all over the place. And I had to, play the likes of O'Brien and stuff. That was a really difficult game because, sorry for this Norwich game, I should say. I had to do a lot of rotation because the games were coming thick and fast here. As you can see, Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday. And then we played Bristol and won. Dom Goodeve, yes, the youngster, got himself a hat-trick. Very nice. Well, in fact, I'll show you the hat-trick. I'll show you Bunjak's goal as well. As you can see, the hat-trick wasn't on until the 86th minute, and then all of a sudden I was willing him forward, saying, come on, lad, come on. I should point out as well, the reason why Tom King was playing so much around about this time, I mean, that was just a gifted goal. That was very similar to Kyle Walker's gifted Downing yesterday. I keep saying yesterday. I'm hoping this has been uploaded on the same day of its recording. And it was very similar to that. Well, not quite as far out, but similar to an extent. There's Bunjak's goal, powered in, 80th minute, killed the game off. What was I saying? I was saying something then I've totally forgotten. The game keeps putting me off. I was thinking then, hang on, good evening, score a free kick. But as you can see, there's for Backer's goal. What am I? Jesus Christ. I can't speak all of a sudden. Now there's his. I think this was his debut. Well, I can't remember actually what I was saying. I told you, my mind's gone blank. Anyway, let's never mind that. Good eve with the finish here. really nice for him. That was 3-0. That absolutely killed the game off totally there. I think Bristol really had an answer to that. Of course, this is the FA Cup third round, in case you weren't looking, or if I forgot to say it or whatever. And so ball in there from Fabaka. So he got a hat-trick. That was 93rd minute. Donald Goody got a hat-trick, and Fabaka got a assist on his debut. So that's fantastic there for the 18-year-old. Getting himself a hat-trick. So yeah. And then we now move on to the big game against Brighton, which you can see live. That will be a live commentary coming up next. So that is how the league. I should also point out some of the player stats. Barry Wallace on 12, Koulibaly on 11. There's been Adam Taylor, who is a great player for Manchester City. He's only 24, and he's he's got a lot of good physical stats. Obviously, I think it's all mental. I look at that off the ball 20. He's a very clever player, So he seems to have a good one about him. We've also got Marko Grujic, the Croatian. He's basically the reason why West Brom have been so good over the last few years. And there's Hristov, who I still don't think has scored against me. Steinhofer for Tottenham. Dudil still going there. Castano for who's that? For Spurs, sorry. And obviously we've got Wallace Mohamed Atalay scoring back up there again. We've also got Keno for Cardiff, who I'm maybe interested in the future. Seems to have got a fair amount of goals. And we also have a new one for Manchester United to keep your eyes on him. Usually these type of players do break through and start getting a fair amount of goals. This is Karl Skubala, which is an interesting name. And in terms of assists, we haven't got any assists. Vladislav Gordon's up there for Brighton, but other than that, that's about it. So we're going to leave it there. So thank you very much for watching. That is how the league stands. We'll have the 2 live commentaries and maybe more in the future. So thanks for watching. I will see you next time. Prepare for the big one. It will be good. I'm sure. I can assure you. See you next time.